But today I'm going to be attempting a repair, hopefully successfully, to repair a blown out spark plug on my 2007 Touring Honda Odyssey Auto. I attempted to repair about 4 months ago with a fix-a-thread kit, and found recently that the spark plug was just about completely ejected again, and that's a fairly catastrophic event if that happens. The coil on plug devices, which you see here, that I've already removed. If your plug is rejected, or ejected, this coil on plug is going to be completely destroyed. It comes out of there with good velocity and breaks that thing all apart. How do I know that? I've already experienced that once. So what do we have here? We have number 5 cylinder, which is the middle one up on the up front bank, one that we are highlighting right there, and that's the one that has ejected the plug. And so today we'll be performing a new repair with a different product. Now, I've gone online and searched and found that the Time-Sert manufacturer provides several different kits, and I have ordered one from the Thread Doctor, and going to be using that today in this repair. I have gone online and looked at a video made by Wise Auto Tools. It's an excellent video if you've never seen this product before, and the gentleman in the video does an excellent job, and I'll be using several of his techniques today in this repair. Now, the kit that I have ordered for this repair is called a Big-Sert. It's made by the Time-Sert people, but you can see here it's called a Big-Sert. And the reason why it's called that is because it's oversized from their standard product. Once you've had a plug to eject after it's been first repaired by a fix-a-thread or a helicoil system, this is what you've got to go to. So I would recommend, if I had it to do over again, I would buy the Time-Sert product from the beginning, and I would have avoided this step, and I would have saved myself about $150 probably, because this kit is more expensive. Now, what I have purchased is their kit called Big-Sert 41E, which is the extended version, which you must have to go down into the spark plug wells on the Honda Odyssey. And the specific insert that we'll be installing is the Big-Sert 51407, and you see the specs there. The inserts are here in the kit. They have been coated with copper, but I think they're steel inside, and we'll be using those. I've ordered 2. If they don't come with the kit, you have to order them separately, and I've ordered 2 just in case I foul up the first one. I've got another one to use. I've not ever used this product or this technique before, so I wanted to make sure that by the end of the day I have success. So we'll get started and comment on the video as we go along. Okay, I must also say that I've previously used an assistant to make sure number 5 cylinder was on the compression stroke. It was just past top dead center on compression, and is now pretty much at the very bottom of that stroke. And I've determined that by inserting a screwdriver, long screwdriver you can insert down into the, and you see it drops way down, so we're well down, and you want to make sure that piston is well out of the way for this installation procedure. Also make mention that I previously removed this plastic surround that's up here so that I've gained direct access right down through this area. I've got a straight shot down into the spark plug well itself. So those are all preliminary things that you certainly should do before we get to the actual repair step. Okay, the first step is the reaming out of the hole to the right dimensions so we can actually tap it. So in this extended set, we've got a reamer and we've got the extension handle. These go together. So we'll tighten up the set screw. Get it nice and snug. And then we'll be inserting this tool down into the spark plug well until we reach the bottom. And now we're going to start turning the tool. But first of all, we're going to apply some WD-40. Good quantity there, and we'll be applying pressure, pushing this down into the hole and turning as we go to ream out the hole to the proper dimensions. I'll be extracting that several times and cleaning off the shavings as we go along here. Now the device comes extension with a T-handle rod, essentially it goes through this hole right there, you can see. But in this particular application, that's impractical to use the T-handle approach. So what I'm going to do, the end of it also comes with a fitting that can be used with a 5/8 socket. So I'm going to use my 5/8 socket and my 1/2-inch drive to keep pressure on the device as it cuts its way down through the hole. One other thing to mention is that several videos talk about using grease on the device here to cut with, but I agree with the gentleman on the Wise Auto video. I'd rather not have grease down inside my cylinder. I'm going to use his technique to blow out all the shavings that are generated from the cutting action here. So we'll get started on doing that and see how it goes. Okay, we made several turns with the reamer, and it's maybe a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch down into the spark plug hole, and it's a slow process. Takes a good deal of pressure to force it down into the hole, but we just keep putting some WD-40 on it and keep working our way down. It's got to go all the way down pretty much till it hits this collar right here, so we got a long ways yet to go through several steps in the device itself, into the reamer. So you can see here it takes a lot of turning and a lot of downward pressure. I'll say this, I'm glad that the problem was here in the front, If this had occurred in one of the spark plugs in the back side of the engine, I would be seriously worried that you could actually get this much pressure down in here to get this accomplished. But you'll see in the video that the WiseAuto.com uses an air-driven ratchet, and that would certainly help back in that area particularly. Reamer is pretty much fully engaged in cutting right now, and it takes a good deal of pressure to force the reamer around as it cuts deeper and deeper. I can really see it going down further and further right now. Okay, you can see here now we've got about probably a good ½ inch down in there. We're fully engaged on the bottom section of the reamer, and it's got 2 more step-ups in size before it reaches its full dimension. So we got a long ways to go. It's going to take quite a bit of effort to accomplish this. Okay, a little more information here. I'm up to the third and final step up in size, and as I'm getting down to that point, I noticed the reamer stopped going further into the hole. I just pulled it out to see what was going on. Here's the washer off the last plug that I had in there. It actually did not blow out, this particular plug, but it was on the verge of failure. I was getting a flashing code of a misfire on number 5, so that's why I started investigating the problem and found that it was this same problem I had before. But the plug did not blow out, but it was pretty deteriorated on the bottom. So I'll get rid of that washer and clean this off. I've also decided to go with a little more lubrication here. I went to using the light oil that's included in the kit. It's called the driver oil, and just putting a little bit here on the reamer as we drive it further down, and it seems to be going much easier now. Down with the light oil, I'm getting much less resistance, and looks like we're getting good cutting with every turn now, and it's going deeper and deeper. We'll see how long it takes to get to the final depth. We're at the bottom now with the reamer. It turns very easily now, and you can hear it bottom out. And you can pull it out now with very little effort. The reamer has a stop collar on it, this dark band here that's in position with a set screw. So it looks like we're at that stop collar depth now. Okay, just a little more information on this step. I can see by the distance here on the reamer tool and the kind of scratch marks on the insertion extension handle that they're about the same. Of course, this is a brand new device. If it weren't, I wouldn't be able to necessarily tell that, but I can see the depth here at the last kind of scratch mark is about the same here, and also the solid feel of the collar hitting the bottom. It's a nice technique I saw off the Wise video is to use an air hose and a little piece of tubing on the end. I think he used a piece of brake hose tubing or something like that. Anyway, this is just a little piece of like 1/4 inch Tygon tubing that I picked up from Lowe's for another project I had. So I'm going to insert this down into the cylinder and blow out the fragments of the metal filings, cuttings from the reamer tool. I would recommend make sure you have some kind of safety glasses on. I wear glasses anyway, so fragments will come flying out of here. Okay, I've already done this once, so I think pretty much got them all out. I'm not seeing any new ones. We are looking now into the hole that's been reamed out down at the bottom. I can see a nice shiny edge down there where the cutting tool has made kind of a seat, I think. So anyway, it looks pretty clean with the filings and shavings that are out of there. So we'll go to the next step. Okay, the next step in the process is to tap the hole. And again, we use the tapping tool and the extension and the set screw. We're going to tighten that all up and begin the tapping process. We'll put a little of the included oil on the tap and start it down into the reamed out hole. Okay, I'm using the extension again and the ratchet and the 5/8 socket, and I can already feel the tap engaged in the hole, and it is very quickly descending through the reamed out hole and tapping it out for us. So we'll be ready pretty soon to start the placement of the insert. This is pretty exciting. This kit is performing very, very well. The sizing on the extension tool is just slightly smaller than the interior of the spark plug well. So that helps you keep it centered nicely. Alright, I think I'm at the bottom. We'll see. Still going a little ways. But it's going quite far into the hole, and I can see the previous mark. I don't know if this has a stop on it or not. I hope it does. But I won't go beyond where the mark on the extension is from the reamer insertion. Okay, so we'll back it out and see how it looks inside. Really probably don't need the extension at this point as the driver. Can do it by hand. Okay, the tapping step was very easy, and again after the tap I've used an air hose to attempt at least to blow out any fragments that got into the cylinder from the tapping process. So now we're on to the next step, which is the insertion of the insert itself. Okay, the next step is the insert of the insert, placement of the insert. Okay, here's the insert that goes with this particular job on the Honda Odyssey. Again, it's a copper plated steel interior insert. The insert mounts on this insertion tool. There's a few threads there that tighten up on that, and then the tool itself goes inside the extension tool like so. There's a rubber O-ring around the top that kind of helps it set down in there. So there we go. That's in there now, and it should be ready to install. So we'll put some Loctite on the last several threads here on the insert to lock it in place once it's down in there. Down here near the bottom. So not wanting to flow out of there. In any case, that should be probably more than sufficient for this job. I didn't find that to be very helpful there to get it out of there. I was expecting it to be a little thicker than that. Okay, so we're going to start the insertion of the insert. And we're going to start it by hand. We feel it going down, engaging in the threads just fine, and I'll use my driver to set it in place. Okay, I've completed the install of the insert. Went using my ratchet to begin with, but the specifications say to go to 20 foot-pounds, so I've used this kind of antique torque wrench to bring it over to the 20 mark. So the final step is to use the insert driver tool to do the process of cold rolling the bottom part of the insert to lock it mechanically in place. That's in addition to the Loctite that was put on there when we installed it. So we'll start this down in there. Again, you'll need the extension tube for the Honda Odyssey application, and we'll see how this step goes. I'm starting it by hand. It's very easy to get started. And so I'm doing it pretty much by my fingers to right there. So we were as far as that would go, and then we'll use my ratchet to drive it the rest of the way. It's supposed to be quite easy until it gets near the bottom where it does the rolling procedure. It should tighten up when it starts that. So let's see how that feels in a minute. Okay, right there I can feel it really begin to tighten. Now it's supposed to ease up when this is done and go back to a pretty smooth, easy. It takes about 10 turns for this to complete. And it should ease right back up. There we go. We're through it. Easy. So that's the end of it. All we got to do is back this out, and our repair is made. I don't know what a shop or dealership would charge for this whole process, but the kit itself with the inserts was about $370. I have to say the Thread Doctor on the online site where I purchased the kit. Was very efficient, shipped it overnight. I ordered it on Tuesday, came yesterday, and this is a Thursday morning. And I jode 2 hours worth of time that included stopping and videoing. It's all done. Alright, we're looking down into the spark plug well with the insert. You can't quite see it very well down in there, but I can see the rim of the copper down in the hole and the nice new threads that are inside of it. So we'll get our spark plug installed and get this vehicle back on the road. Okay, I've decided to run the engine some before putting the spark plug in the hole to blow out any final shavings or debris that I could not blow out with the compressed air. Now I'm going to install the plug and hopefully it'll run perfectly. Okay, I've installed the plug now and the coil on plug. So we'll crank it up and hopefully hear it sound perfectly. Alright, that's sounding pretty good. So we'll call it a wrap and a fixed blown out plug.